Hey guys, it's Savage, and I was going to show you guys how to farm. So here's the guys I use. I try to use 5 builders, 5 giants, 5 wall breakers, as you see, and then I just do all the rest as archers, and I do 2 barracks as goblins. Boom, and boom. Alright, so I skipped going through all of the different bases. I just skipped it straight to the point so you guys can see. If you look in the gold storages, it shows 1 coin, so there's nothing in there. The elixir storages, there's nothing in there, so it's in the collectors. So gotta mob the collectors. First I drop a giant to distract the defenses, and then just run in there with the goblins. My bombers did not make it that time. You never know when you'll run into that. Alright, so now that I got the wall open, you gotta drop more giants to distract, and just drop your goblins. I always do it wait a couple seconds in between, maybe 10 or 15 goblins, that way, you know, 1 cannon doesn't just destroy everything. Because if you lose 50 goblins in 1 hit, that sucks. As you can see, I'm already pretty much capped on elixir, so I was just going for gold in this mainly. I didn't really need to make a video, but I'm just trying to help you guys because I've seen a lot of people saying that they're not very good at farming, whatever. So this video is a little longer than I intended, by the way, but I don't know. I figured if I sped or fast forwarded it, then you wouldn't really be able to pay attention as much or understand what I'm doing. So I do occasionally try to break a defense, as you can see. In my opinion, the number 1 thing you need to worry about is splash damage, which is the cannon and the wizard towers. I'm not going after those right now, but in another one soon I definitely do, and I'll show you what I mean to distract those with giants first. And here's actually a great way to see what I mean, because that wizard is just, you know, he pretty much screwed me up on that. I did not get very much loot off of this first one, but I kept it because I had the opening video as to what I made. So anyways, you can see it there, and the other loots will be a lot better. Like I said, I skipped everything of making them and going through the other bases, so it's just going to go on to the next one. A lot of loot in this one. You see the 2 large gold storages are empty. There's 1 coin in it, but there is 1 smaller storage that is full down below. So first I have to get rid of this Barb King. Gone. So since there's so much loot, you know, there's obviously going to be something in the collectors, so there's nothing wrong with dropping a few. Plus, on top of that, if you're ever going to actually go for the storage rather than collectors, and you're using goblins, make sure that you get the collectors that are nearby, because, you know, you're going to drop all your goblins hoping they go for the storage, but they're not. They're going to go for what's close by. So don't make that mistake. That was one thing that took me a while to grasp onto. And the archers are a big help. I do like having 1/3 archers for many reasons. A lot of times, if I ran out of wall breakers or something and they have a storage nearby, you can just archer it. You don't even have to do it. That's what I probably should have done with this one, but I'm pretty sure I did gob it. Use goblins, whatever. So you just distract them, The Tulsa's getting them. All Archers, everything's getting the Giants. And look at, man, that whole storage is gone. Bam. And I didn't get all the loot in this because there is a lot in the middle, but I got enough to be happy, I'll tell you that. Like, I knew I couldn't get all of it because if that one smaller storage had a lot of gold in it, that means the even amount is in the bigger ones too, but it's fine. Really need to upgrade my storages so I can farm elixir instead of having it full all the time. So I'm just grabbing these last little collectors, you know, for whatever reason. One thing I recommend is always try and drop, I mean, it's not going to happen on this, the space is way too good, but always drop your archers around in areas where they can't get hit, just to try and get that 1 star. This is something I was going to explain, because, you know, like, everyone says, oh, I'm farming, I don't care, I don't want to win, blah, 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 but if you drop your trophies so much that you have to actually make real guys and go again, then you're not saving time. You're just not. You're going to have to, you know, fight like 4 or 5 times and get your trophies back up, which is a waste of time, and you're no longer farming. So if you can, it's not going to happen every time. It's probably not going to happen most of the time, but if you can, just grab that 1 star so you're not dropping trophies so much that you can't farm anymore. As you can see, like I said, splash damage is the biggest thing, so I'm trying my best to distract this wizard tower. So, you know, I don't know if you guys know, on the phone, I did this on my computer, so it is a little harder for me, it's a little different, I'm not as fast, but on the phone you can actually use both of your thumbs and drop 2 at a time. So if you see how I have 2 holes where I'm dropping goblins, normally on my phone I would, you know, have a giant go on each side to distract, and I would drop with both hands in both areas to make it a lot faster. But look, I mean, this was just a lucky base, 1 thing all the way around, his loot's already gone. I just dropped the archers to try and get that star, but obviously it's going to be more than 1 star. Just so you guys know, I just recorded this voice after the fact. I didn't do it well, so if I say something incorrect, you know, that's why. Alright, well, I 100% of this guy, so yeah. Now I'm already full on gold and elixir completely. I think I spent some in between. Oh yeah, see, now I need some elixir, and this guy has plenty of loot. Another lucky base. I mean, look at that, 1 wall. It's like I said, yeah, it's not just me having so much skill in this or anything like that. It's also finding the right base. Take your time. If you're Town Hall 7 or 8, I suggest you wait. Don't go to Town Hall 10 because it's 1,000 apparently to switch each time, which is, you know, kind of stinks. I mean, you're going to end up trying to upgrade all that stuff anyway, so why rush to make it more expensive? I don't see the need in that. Just trying to upgrade what you can before you move on. Take advantage of it being cheap. So here's one thing I did, like, see how I'm trying to kill those wizard towers, because they, you know, they destroy the gobs so fast, the goblins. So just drop all your archers or drop whatever, distract them, kill them. Just don't let them knock out like 20-30 goblins at a time. And notice how like I said, I drop goblins a little bit at a time, because, you know, that splash damage, you're not going to always be able to get rid of it. And normally I don't use a heal at all, but obviously I was feeling greedy and wanted all of his loot, so I did. Just watching this video is just making me annoyed that my resources are completely capped out and I'm still doing this. Wow. Alright, so, you know, this guy only has 100k elixir to grab, but it's alright. I needed some elixir during this time. just so you guys know, I made this video in like, I don't know, probably like maybe out of 10 right? No, I don't know. I made it in a day, less than a day. Because with what I showed you in the beginning, you know, you make your 5 giants, 5 wall breakers, all archers, goblins, whatever. I think I attack pretty much like every 15 minutes. So that's one thing you got to do, is make sure you're doing that. Don't, you know, waste your time getting more wall breakers, more, you know, giants, because that's more elixir and it's a lot more time. In my opinion, the number one thing with farming is time. You want to get loot fast, so make sure you're doing that. If you're not getting loot fast, then what are you doing? It's not just a matter of finding one base and destroying it because it has a great loot. You gotta do good all the time, fast. I mean, this will be a problem, you know, when people actually have stuff in their clan, when they have troops, but it's not that big a deal. I just dropped a barbarian king to try and help out with that. See here, there it is. This is going to show you actually. See how I dropped those goblins and they went to those other collectors? That's what I'm talking about. If you don't get the collectors nearby, they're not going to do what you wanted. Because I obviously wanted them to go to that elixir storage, but they didn't. So be careful with that. Make sure you get the collectors nearby, because they're going to go for it. You know, I still kept 53 goblins that match, so that was, or I don't know if I dropped them or not. I don't see why I would. Yeah. See, so not. I didn't even leave the loot on that. I cut it off early. Well, it was 100,000. You guys saw in the beginning it said 100,000, and you had like 1,000 left. So I got it. I just screwed up editing that one. And this is the last one I'm going to show, because this video's close to 14 minutes, and I don't know who really wants to watch 14 minutes of this, but I kind of just wanted to show you as much as I could. You know, grab all the storages on the outside. I mean, I don't always drop a giant. See, like these little collectors, I mean not storages, collectors, just, you can drop 2 or 3 goblins at a time, and then maybe like an archer if you want to, just to try to break all those down first. Because if you look, this is, his storages aren't empty in this one, but I went for it because it's only 1 wall away and I can get to all of them. So remember when I said the wizard tower is the most effective, that's going to screw you up, so I went immediately toward the wizard tower to distract, because that's the number one. I don't care, people say the cannon is, but it's not, in my opinion. It's slow. The wizard tower, it'll wreck you. I mean, his loot's pretty much gone already on elixir, and I don't even need the gold, but whatever. I robbed him, so it's nobody's now. Well, that's pretty much near the end of my video, you guys, but hopefully you got some tips and you can figure out what to do. You know, change it up if you need to, but it's a real good way to get loot within, you know, I mean, every 15 minutes to be able to attack one thing is great. Like I said, try to get that 1 star so that, you know, you're not having to work your way back up to farm. And then just keep the wizard towers occupied with your giants. Also, occupy them with the giants before you drop your bombers, because they will also hit that. So there's a good loot on that one. I'll see you guys later.